Welcome back to the Friday Review. Thank you for joining me here today. I'm excited to get into our week-ending show before our host calls, of course, every Saturday and Sunday. And I can't wait to share with you all of the different updates from everything we have going on. And there's always a lot going on in the private practice and, of course, around the world in our global support community. I'll be bringing to you two old school books that still hold true today. And if you're looking to go deeper on your nutrition and go deeper on your sympathetic nervous system and that fight or flight, these books are going to be for you. Also want to share with you our product review of the week and something that I use all the time in my own personal life as well as practice. Very simple, very inexpensive, and can save you a lot of time and potentially give you the answers that you are looking for as to what's going on with your health. And then I want to bring you, of course, new research each and every week. One is going to be on glaucoma, linked to hormones, and another one linked to hysterectomies. And then we have a third research study, hopefully we get to all of them today, on actually what happens with heart health when you take in a specific type of food in preventing potentially heart attacks. So a lot to bring to you here today. I know that we can do it. Let's get started with our recap of everything we've gone over this week. I do hope that you've been tuning in over the past few weeks. Last week especially, we brought to you the Healthy Holiday Guide. I'll be talking about that in just a moment. But over this past week, we've gone over the 1% rule on our Motivation and Mindset Monday, something that I've used in my life over and over that has really allowed me to go after the type of life that I want, but in a less stressed manner. So that was a game changer for me about a decade ago, really learning about that. On Tuesday, on our Total Wellness Tuesday show, we talked about how to ease bloating, especially in the short term, like right away. What can you do with specific types of enzymes and what all the different enzymes do for your body? On Wednesday, our Wellness and Weight Loss Wednesday, we went over how histamines and mast cells may be the missing answer that you've been looking for in terms of leaky gut. And then yesterday, we did our special guest of the week. We had on my head health coach, the one person who works right beside me, and that is none other than Julia Hayes. You've probably seen Julia Hayes in our CabralSupportGroup.com. You've definitely probably chatted with her if you've done labs through Equalife. And of course, if you've ever been in my private concierge practice, you've worked with Julia as well, since she handles all of my emails, all of my follow-up questions, and she's absolutely amazing. So she's going to share with you, and did share with you, hopefully you tuned in yesterday, all sorts of hormonal health answers, how she works as a health coach. So that's great for a lot of our IHPs, as well as family health for what she does for her two young kids too. So a lot of information there. Each and every Thursday, we have a special guest on that I hope that you can begin to learn from them and really the journey that they've been through life, because I always bring on people too that have a lot of their own health story. And that's why I love being able to share that with you, because we're all on this health journey together, meaning it's not static. We get well, we stay well, we might hit a bump in the road, we might not feel well, and we get better again. And then, there's always these little things that we have to deal with, but it's all about optimizing our health and optimizing our life. That's what yesterday's show is all about as well for the whole family. So check that out. Today, of course, we have our Friday review. I hope that you're following along. Head on over to stephencabral.com/1757, and you will see all of the different links that I talk about in today's show there today. So first things first, just want to share with you, and it's more of a thank you, but I wanted to thank you for our support we had over the past couple weeks for the Thyroid Health Results Accelerator. It was the very first Health Results Accelerator that I rolled out there. Always a little nervous. I mean, that's just the way that it is. You put something that you work so hard on out into the world. You don't know how it's going to be received. You don't know if it's what people want or what they don't want. We have inklings because we have so many people come into our private practice and they need help rebalancing their thyroid. So what I'm doing is trying to take the top health conditions and create these deep dives on them, but really that you can save yourself years of reading, research, trial and error, working with practitioners, thousands of dollars in time and all of those things, and really just sit down for a half a day or just even 15 minutes a day and go through the different lessons. By the end of it, you will know, guaranteed, what you need to do in order to rebalance your thyroid. So a big thank you for helping me to make that a success. It's always what I wanted to do, is really write down everything that I do so that it can live on. It's really what I want, and that I can teach our integrative health practitioners the exact protocols as continuing education so that they can help take their wellness clients through those as well. So much more to come. I mean, really so much more to come. We have a female hormones rebalancing health results accelerator coming out in, well, maybe just a week or so. We shall see. I'm going to be careful about saying the exact release date until it is out, but very, very shortly. You can always check out all the different courses, which are our health results accelerators, at stevencabral.com/courses, just keeping it really easy for you. And again, these are all online learning. Go at your own pace. Really have a year to take all the information. They're about 4 hours long, 3 to 4 hours long. And what they do is they enable you to go deep on a specific health issue that you might be dealing with right now, to show you how your body works in that way, how it became dysfunctional, and then what you can do to get back on track. And I give you my specific protocols that we use in my private practice every single day. So thank you once again. I'm going to keep it at that for updates, except to say that each and every week, do head on back over to equi.life. That is the new Equilibrium Nutrition. So it's EQUI.LIFE. And that is because we are always listening to your feedback. We're changing the navigation on mobile to make it easier. We are changing our homepage to make it easier. We're switching from the subscription to the one-time to make it easier for you. We changed the quantity discounts to make it even easier to buy in bulk and save 10, 15% on a daily basis. So these are all things that you said to us. And when my team brings all the feedback to me, I say, yes, all this makes total sense. Let's do what people want. Like, let's make it easy for them. And so I'm excited that literally every single week, new content is coming out, because Equilife is about living a life in equilibrium. It's about achieving equilibrium. It's all about living life in balance. That's what it's all about. So, of course, for 2021, we hope that you join us in the community, and that you start looking deeper into your health with labs, that you run some of the protocols, that you do the January New Year's detox with us. All of these fun things are coming up. And of course, I'll be more active. I'm going to be on there more on social media. I'm going to be answering more of your questions. That's my commitment to you coming up in this new year as well. All right. I talked about yesterday's big guest, Julia Hayes. Go back, check that out. What I want to do right now is dive right into my product reviews of the week, or product review, I should say, of the week. And I just don't want you to miss about, it was last week, the Healthy Holiday Gift Guide. Let me see if I can find the actual number for you right now. It was episode 1748. That was basically fine, because I know that we're on Cyber. What is it? It's Black Friday, Cyber Monday, right? So you know that I'm not big on all of the different holiday and marketing based events, but it is fun. Like, it is a fun time of the year. And don't get me wrong, I'm purchasing items today. I'm purchasing items all weekend long. I already know things that I'm purchasing for my family, all from my stevencabral.com/resources. Those are basically all the things that I love, and I share those with people all the time. And for the holidays, I'm going to do the same. Now, on the episode 1748, I gave you 5 items under $50, 5 items under $100, 5 items under $300, and then 5 items that are higher price point for yourself and for others. So these are like, if I could only choose 5, what would I go with in order to introduce these to people? So that's what I did. You can check it out on that show. And that's that. Now, what I'd like to do, though, is share with you these really expensive, they're called reagent strips. So if you're watching this on video, and again, if you don't know, we do this every day on video now. You can just head to YouTube, which is just my name, Steven Cabral. I would love you to subscribe. I would love you to be able to, as they say, ring that bell to know when your notifications are, when there's a new video. But there's a new video every single day. And so you can check it out, of course, at stevencabral.com or on YouTube. But if you're watching on video, and even if you're not, I'm going to explain this on audio as well, that these reagent strips allow you to actually look at a lot of what's going on in your body. They're not diagnostic. So we're not diagnosing you with the disease. But why do I use these at home? And here's why. So right off the bat, I use this just to make sure there's no urinary tract infections. Again, this is not diagnostic based, but if you have frequent urination and you have burning in urination, if you have any type of pain, you can just urinate on one of these strips and see if you have any leukocytes in the urine. And leukocytes could be, again, this is not diagnostic, but could be indicative of a urinary tract infection. And then you can work on that naturally, or you can, of course, let your PCP know. Next up on these urinary test strips are nitrogen, basically looking at protein breakdown. We're looking at protein in the urine, which there should be none. This gives you a normal that you match up with. What else is looking at? pH in the urine. Typically, you want to be neutral, usually around a 7, 7.5. Will show you blood in your urine, which you should not have either. You're looking at specific gravity. Specific gravity is simply the amount of solute in the urine. It gets more complicated than that, but the amount of solute in that urine. It looks at ketones. It looks at bilirubin, and it also looks at your glucose levels. So is it as good as a glucometer? Of course not, but we're using the general here. So again, I just unscrewed the cap. How many of these do you get? Well, I'll link up the company that I'm using right now. You get 100, and I don't know how much these are, but they probably can't be more than, let's say, like $20 or so. So these will last you quite a few years. But when you look at it, you'll see all the different reagent colors right on it. And what you do is you can urinate on this test strip. Don't let it run down, kind of urinate it on the side. And then you can put it on a paper towel on the side and just allow it for 1 minute, not even 30 seconds, in order to change the colors into your zone to indicate what you have going on in your body. It's super simple. And then you can look right on the side of this container and you can simply match it up with where you fall for the leukocytes, the protein, the bilirubin, the nitrogen, and all of those different markers. So these are simple to have at home. Again, they're non-diagnostic based, but if you're into I don't enjoy the word biohacking. How about just learning more about your health? You can certainly look into these specific test strips. All right. Super easy. I believe you can buy them honestly right on Amazon now. You don't need to be a doctor to buy these anymore. And this is what they use for a lot of your urinalysis based checkups as well. So I'm going to link this up for you today at stephencabral.com/1757. And I'll probably put it up at stephencabral.com/resources as well, because I actually will do that for sure, because it's a nice thing as part of your own home doctor's office as well. All right. That is that for our product review of the week. Each and every week we have products. Last week, I think I talked about those cozy sheets called Cozy Earth is the name of the company. By the way, I said that I didn't actually test them when I was looking at them, and I just showed you such a great company, such a great brand. They've been around for a decade. They're absolutely phenomenal, by the way, absolutely phenomenal. And they're not paying me to say this. The sheets are super soft, and they passed my wife's critique as well. And they're a great company, great sheets, non-toxic. And so, of course, those are linked up at stephencabral.com/resources, as well as last week, which was stephencabral.com/1750. All right, that is our product review of the week. I always love being able to do follow-ups to let you know all the things I am actually using and that I love. And that is one of them. Okay, so book reviews of the week. Well, here's the thing. This is a blast from the past. A lot of people have talked about it, and it's singular in focus, and I don't think it's all encompassing. But the reason why I'm bringing this book up, it's called Nutrition and Physical Degeneration by Weston Price, Dr. Price. He was a dentist who traveled around the world, looked at people's dental cavities, looked at their dental formation, looked at the shape formation, and saw what happened when kind of first generation came in, or second generation, third generation of eating processed food, and actually would look at the jaw lines and face structure of generations of people that ate processed food. And again, it would look more like my face. It becomes much more narrow, becomes longer. You get deviated septums, you get longer noses, like all of the things that have happened basically to my face. And what happens is over the ages, we get away from having those nice wider nostrils to actually be able to breathe through. My nostrils are not even meant for breathing through, apparently. It's just more challenging for me to do nostril breathing. I always concentrate on it. I do the mouth taping at night, and those things help. But they don't lead to good oxygen in this blood, and that can change pH of your blood slightly, and all these things matter. Anyway, It's a fascinating read. I've already reviewed this book before, so you can absolutely check out my previous review on that. Why do I bring it up today? It's because I bring up the stress of life. I've talked about this inside of our Integrative Health Practitioner Institute, which, by the way, I hope that you have checked out. If you haven't checked it out, this is the best time in the world, literally, if you're thinking about becoming a health coach, to become a health coach. And it's because every single family needs a health coach in their home. They really do. A health coach is needed in every home. And that's because now more than ever, we know that chronic disease is which leads to susceptibility for all of these people, 99+% basically, leading to more serious issues. So this is a very serious topic, and I want people to know more about their health. And just as importantly, I want them to then teach it in their community and to their children, because not everyone is going to be willing to learn it, but they will take specific tips for you. And I think that's super important. All right, I really do. And so this book I've already recommended inside of IHP, but it's called The Stress of Life. And if you are someone that has maybe enjoyed hearing more about the sympathetic nervous system and fight or flight and all of how stress basically hurts our body and it can actually be helpful in the short term, well, Dr. Hans Selye, who was a medical doctor, really is the godfather of the HPA axis and fight or flight. So when I teach the different levels of HPA axis dysfunction, I learned it directly from Dr. Hans Selye's teachings. So, he was not a personal mentor of mine, but I look at all the books that I've read, and, I have books in Maine, I have books in my home, I have books in my office behind me, and I have books everywhere. And that's because I love to learn and I love to teach. It's my favorite thing to do is read. And then my next favorite thing to do is teach that. I love reading because it's inspiring to me and I love it. And then I love being able to teach that. It's like 1A and 1B. And of course, that's why I'm doing Health Results Accelerators. That's why I do IHP. It's why I've had a private practice for many, many years. It's just very, very enjoyable. And I'm very grateful to be in the position that I am. I know that. And so I try to get back as much as I can, and I try to really pass on the knowledge of other people that are no longer with us. And one of those people is Dr. Hans Selye. And this book was written a million years ago. Maybe not a million, but it was written in 1956. And then again in 1976, it was a new edition. And then it was renewed again in 1984. And so again, this is an amazing book that just because it's 70 years old, this is the person that basically developed what we talk about in conventional medicine and naturopathic medicine. And he really deserves his due. Not enough people know his name. And does it get more in depth? Yes, absolutely. So you have to be more into your health. You have to have read The Rain Barrel Effect. You have to have read, more things so that this isn't your first introduction to stress. That's for sure. The cover's not going to probably win any designs or anything like that, but that's not what it's about. It's about the content. And so this is a great book. It's about 400 pages long. And if you want to really know more about stress pathways and the fight or flight, well, this is the person that really did the research on it. So The Stress of Life, it's called. Of course, I will link it up on today's show notes. All right, now, last but never least, we are going to go over some research for you today. The first will be on heart attacks and how to prevent them, because that's obviously more important than how do we recover from it, because we never want you to get there in the first place. So first and foremost, let me say this. You don't want to rely on this one food that I'm talking about in order to prevent a heart attack, because that's not what we're talking about right now. We want to look at all the underlying root causes of why people get heart disease and potential for heart attacks in the first place. I'll be talking more about that in the future for sure. I've talked about it on previous shows, but let's at least give you some tips right here. I mean, this is backed up by over 22,000 people. So let's check this out. This is done by Dr. Bonaccio, an epidemiologist, and this is from the Mediterranean Neurological Institute in Italy, which is really nice to see some European research and studies coming out of here. And it's published in the Journal of American College of Cardiology. Again, over 22,811 people in the study. So it's a nice big study. We'd like to see that. And this is what it says. Chili peppers may prevent fatal heart attacks. Well, that got my attention. So let's read about it. People who ate chili peppers at least 4 times a week were 44% less likely to die from a heart attack over an 8-year period, compared with people who did not eat hot peppers. Now, again, hot peppers is the key. Does it have to be chili peppers? Probably not, but it should be hot peppers. And I'll tell you why in just a moment. Chili peppers also were associated with a big reduction in the risk of death from cerebrovascular disease, okay? Looking at the arteries overall, blood flow to the brain. 61% in people who ate them at least 4 times every week. It's possible that the ingredient that gives the peppers their heat, which is capsaicin, I want to talk about that, may have protective effects. Animal studies have found it associated with lower cholesterol and blocking the expression of a gene that causes blood vessels to tighten. Okay, well, again, I'm happy to see that modern medicine is eventually catching up to Ayurvedic medicine, which is 6,000 years old. There is a specific nutrient that we've been using in Ayurvedic medicine for thousands and thousands of years. From hot peppers. Inside of our Fatlocity product, we actually use it as a thermogenic, not only for overall health, but for burning up more body fat. And it's clinically proven, by the way. It's patented. It's called capsaicin or Capsamax. So that's inside of our Fatlocity product that we use, which is the first ever day and night 24-hour fat burning formula. And it's not just about the product. It's about the system that we use. It's never about just the product. It's about the protocol. Always about the protocol. Okay, so here's the thing. We know that hot peppers in Ayurvedic medicine and integrative health is all about increasing vasodilation. It dilates the blood vessels, right? Well, the way that a lot of people have a heart attack is that things vasoconstrict and the blood can't flow through, causing a heart attack or myocardial infarction, right? That's what it's called. So we know that, really, really important, but also hot peppers increase nitric oxide as well. So we have, and then they can increase histamine. A lot of people look at it as bad, not good, but you have to have normal levels, and normal levels are actually really important when looking at overall cancer risk, and also vasodilation in terms of depression, many other things as well. So I'm going to link up the full study, but I don't think it has to just be chili peppers. It can really be, I'd probably say any hot pepper. So if you like hot sauce, well, this is your go ahead to start enjoying some. Okay, next up, 2 specific studies. Let's go over the hysterectomies first. So hysterectomies increase risk for anxiety and depression, even when the ovaries are not removed, reports Dr. Larkin. Risks are greatest when hysterectomies were performed prior to age 35. Previously believed that anxiety and depression risks rose only when the ovaries were removed, triggering hormonal changes. If your doctor recommends a hysterectomy, ask whether there are other options. Okay, this is by Dr. Larkin, medical doctor, practicing internist, and founder of something medicine. I'm going to link all this up. This was published in Healthy Women. Okay, so I'll link up that study. Why do I want to mention this? Because a drop in hormones, whether it's a man or female, low testosterone or low estrogen, can, as well as low progesterone, can trigger low mood, depression, brain fog, low libido, low interest in life. Okay, low hormones equals basically low mood, low interest in life, low stamina, low endurance, low energy, low get up and go, right? That's really what it's all about. So I just want you to know that. And it's not something that, just because it's not just about hysterectomies, it's not about that. It's about a drop anytime in hormones. And that's why I do hope to be really teaching men and women how to normalize their hormones, whether it be an andropause for men or menopause for women as well. And that goes for younger women that basically are in amenorrhea, they've lost their period, or they're just imbalanced in general. So much confusion around this topic, and there does not need to be, because again, we can use the best of state-of-the-art functional medicine with Ayurvedic wisdom as well. All right, last study of the day, and this is oral contraceptives increase risk for glaucoma. And this is by Dr. Lin. Women who took oral contraceptives for at least 3 years have twice the risk for glaucoma as women who took contraceptives for a shorter period of time. Why? Birth controls reduce estrogen, and estrogen is believed to protect the retina. Okay, so what does that mean? And I might have even given you this study before. Here's what it means, is that when you begin to lower hormones or play around with your hormones, it can do other things in the body. We already know that birth control can throw off gut function. It can throw off mood. It can cause bloating. It can cause yeast infections. And now we're looking at glaucoma. Well, so if you've been on birth control for any number of years, it's just at least wise when you go for an eye exam to let your ophthalmologist know, hey, like I was on birth control this many years, just kind of looking for early signs of glaucoma. And then, of course, protect your eyes. You know, that's what it's all about. Make sure you get your omega-3s in there. Make sure you get your greens in there. You're doing functional medicine detoxes. If needed, you're adding your eye support, which is your lutein, zeaxanthin, lycopene, other great antioxidants as well. That is my time today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. And of course, if this show was helpful, please do feel free to share it with anyone you believe it could serve. And don't forget, each and every weekend, I am back with our Cabral House Calls, answering our community's questions each and every weekend. Take care, everyone. Have an amazing rest of the day.